All right. Oshaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton Jr. It's a rumored fight, but it's looking like it's the fight that's going to be made at 130. And obviously, Oshaquie Foster has the advantage, but I think it's not even going to be a fair fight. Now, I'm a fan of Stephen Fulton. I loved his fights with Figueroa at 122. All his fights at 122 on his road to undisputed. Then Inoue comes in and destroys that whole campaign. That sucked. But anyways, watching Stephen Fulton come up to 126, win his title, I don't think 130 is the move for him. At 122, he had pillow hands. He was pillow fisted. And he would get in these wars where he's throwing hundreds of punches. And they're not really doing anything to his opponents. They're slowing him down. He doesn't have knockout power, but not even that. He doesn't have drop-em power. He doesn't really drop his opponents. He kind of just lays a beating on them. And watching the new Figueroa, the second fight, he won, but it's very clear that he's more likely to get dropped. And if you don't know Oshaquie Foster, he is like, I'ma kill him. Like, he is he's coming to fight. He's a beast among men. He's a very aggressive. He has that Terrence Bud Crawford wild hook, but still technical, still high IQ, still defensively sound. But I think this is just a horrible fight for Stephen Fulton. Oshaquie has that knockout power. Not only knockout power, he just has power in general. And that is something that Stephen Fulton lacks in all of his fights. He doesn't really have drop 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em power, which he didn't really need because of his technique, his intelligence inside the game, inside the matches. He never really needed any of that. But if you start to look at how Oshaquie Foster fights, it's just a worse matchup for Stephen Fulton coming up into his third weight class. I want to say that he has the technique. Because if he has like one of the best Philly shells where nothing ever gets in and nothing ever really touches him, but he definitely deteriorated after that Inoue fight where Inoue hit him pretty hard, and I think that took away from him. As in, he got dropped in his next fight, and then got dropped. Maybe he didn't get dropped, but he got rocked in the Figueroa fight. I don't think that Oshaquie Foster is gonna show any mercy. Like, he's going to absolutely diminish him physically in the ring. And yes, Oshaquie, he has these wild, kind of wide punches, but he's not just throwing it out. Everything's planned. It's a slow walk him down kind of game plan. He comes in with a strategy to fight. And Stephen Fulton, if he gets hit, he's not going to I hate to be like this because I actually love watching him come up. I actually love, he's a pound for pound fighter, most definitely. But if he gets hit by any of those, if he gets hit by those, he's out for good. And it is what it is. He's out for good if he gets hit by any of those shots. But maybe he shows a bit of his technicality. That's one thing that I see that Stephen Fulton has over Oshaquie Foster. And we're not really talking about Foster. It is because I think he's the obvious A-side. This is like his fight. And so there's not really much to talk about. He has every advantage in his court, except foot movement. That's the one thing that he doesn't really have in his favor. The movement of Stephen Fulton, his footwork, is one of one. That's why he's a pound for pound talent. He's going to show him angles. He's going to move his head. He's going to move his hands in ways Foster never really went up against. Yeah, he went against Consecayo, I think it is. Yeah, he went against Consecayo, but that's not really on a power level. Yes, it's above Stephen Fulton, but on a technical level, if you watch his Philly shell, everything he does is calculated. He takes risk, but he was in an age at 126 or 122 where he didn't really get hit a lot. I think that's starting to be over, especially at 130, where you have this guy that can just not, he's going to push him around, but the power is going to be the X factor in this fight. Stephen Fulton might be done for. I hate to be like that. He's going to come with a hard counter. I'm talking about Foster. And he might create an orphan that day. He literally might create an orphan that day. But maybe Stephen Fulton survives this. This is just bad all around. This is his third weight class, going up to 130 with a power puncher. But I guess that's what makes Fulton great. That willingness to go against the Inoues, to go to 126 and instantly jump into a title shot, to go into 130 against probably the most dangerous fighter at 130 in Oshaquie Foster. That probably what makes him that guy. But he might have flew too close to the sun. We'll see. I still have hope. I know the defensive phenom Fulton is, and I still have hope that Fulton will dominate, but the logic says Oshaquie Foster is killing someone that day.